Hello, dear learners of class 10th. Let us study one more poem of Robert Lee Frost. That is a very important part of your syllabus. That is Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice, as you all of know that, is a beautiful poem from the pen of Robert Lee Frost. But before getting access to this beautiful creative world of Robert Lee Frost, that is Fire and Ice, I would like to share with you some important pieces of information regarding Robert Lee Frost. I would like to give you a brief introduction or some brief important piece of information relating to his own life. Robert Lee Frost is an American poet. He was born to William Prescott and Isabella Moody in 1874, my dear learners. The name of his father was William Prescott. The name of his mother was Isabella Moody. This poet, this greatest poet of American literature, married his lifetime friend, or you can say this is college day friend and school days friend, Eleanor Miriam. This great poet before departing for another world, means departing for the world of the God or departing for the abode of the God, in 1963 wrote many volumes of poetry and so many other very important work. And for those immortal volumes of poetry, this great poet bagged 4 Pulitzer Award in his own lifetime. Pulitzer Award, as you all of know, that is one of the prestigious prize given by Columbia University of America for something very significant or a very special contribution in the field of English literature and in the field of English journalism. My dear learners, this great poet bagged 4 Pulitzer Award in his own lifetime. The first Pulitzer Award he got for his poems of collection New Hampshire. That collection came into print in 1923. And this poem, the poem that we are going to study in this video, was also the part of this collection that fetched him first Pulitzer Award in 1923. One more important information I would like to give you regarding this poem, that this poem first of all published in 1920. Remember this, 1920, in Harper magazine. And again this poem came with so many other poems in the collection New Hampshire in 1923, for which he got his first Pulitzer Award. The second Pulitzer Prize he got in the year 1931. Third Pulitzer he got in 1937, and the last Pulitzer he got in 1943. See here I have written it. First Pulitzer 1923, second Pulitzer 31, third Pulitzer 1937, fourth Pulitzer 1943. Apart from these 4 Pulitzer Prize in his own life, he got 31 Nobel nomination, means 31 times he was nominated for, or he was shortlisted for Nobel Prize, but unfortunately he could not bag it in his life, my dear learners. He failed to win the Nobel Prize. Apart from four Pulitzer and 31 Nobel nominations, this great poet got so many you see honorary degrees. Honorary degrees, you know that are those degrees which are given to someone or which are bestowed upon someone in the honor of that person. For that nothing is paid. There are some honorary posts, and for honorary posts nothing is paid. So he bagged so many honorary degrees, and he also bagged a gold medal at the age of 86 in his life. See, these were some important pieces of information that I felt relevant to share with you. Now, my dear learners, I would like to explain you the lines of this poem one by one. And for your kind information, I would like to tell you that this poem is written in 9 lines. Means this poem is consisted of 9 lines. And a 9-line poem is called Nonet. Here, see, I have written it that a 9-line poem is called Nonet. Second, very important thing I would like to tell you that 2 meters used in this poem. Meter is a metrical foot. Remember that. Meter is a metrical foot of 2 syllables. Syllables, smallest unit of word or a vowel sound. If 2 vowel sounds come together, they make a foot. And that foot can also be called meter. So 2 vowel sounds make a foot or meter. So the line of these 3, the length of the line of these poems, see the length, almost all the lines of this poem are in iambic tetrameter. Tetra means 4 meter. 4 meter means 8 syllables. 8 syllable, 8 small unit of words. So see, most of the lines of this poem are written in iambic tetrameter. Iambic is a meter. In what happens in iambic? Iambic is a pattern or a set of 2 syllables in which the first one is unaccented, means unstressed, means short, whereas the second one is accented. Like very good example, some say. Some, this word, the sound of this first syllable is not accented, whereas the sound of the second word, that is say, this syllable of this sound is accented, means dragged long, spoken all aloud in comparison with this one. Some say the world will end in fire. This is so iambic tetrameter and iambic diameter. See, only few lines of this poem, particularly the second line and the last 2 lines of this poem, if you pay attention, they are written in iambic diameter. Dia means 2 meters. So this line, some, say, in, I, all the 4 words have 4 vowel sound, means this word is made of 1 unit. This is 1 unit of word. This is also 1. This is also 1. This is also 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It means 4 vowel sounds. Means 4 unit of words. Sorry, 4 unit of words. It means 4 vowel sounds. It means diameter. 4 vowels means 2 vowels come together to make 1 meter of foot. It means 2 feet of 2 meter. Same is the case with this line and this line, my dear learners. So the meter used in this poem in iambic tetrameter and trimeter. Now see the rhyme scheme of the poem. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? Pattern of the similar sounds. Those words that are used at the end of each and every line of the poem. If the first word of the last line, last word of the first line of a poem C has similar sound in comparison with the last line of the second just last word of the second line, then we shall give it A. But see this, fire, ice. Fire A I have given it, ice does not match with the sound fire. So A, B. But see, desire, fire, again A. See this, fire, desire, fire, it means again. So A, B, A, B, A. And now say this, twice, C, ice. So again B. See, hate does not match with any word used above. So C. Then B. B twice, ice. C. Great, hate. Then again C. Then B. Suffix, ice, twice, B. So this is the rhyme scheme used in this poem. A, B, A, B, C, B, C, B. This is the rhyme scheme of the poem. And another very important piece of information that I would like to share with you is that this poem is written in a single stanza of 9 lines. This poem is not divided into any other number of stanzas. This poem is a single stanza of 9 lines. It means the poem holds 9 lines, that is known it. Now I would like to explain it to you, the poem line by line. See what he said. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. So see, here the poet is placing in front of us 2 opinions of the people. Here he is talking about the 2 opinions of the certain number of the people belonging to 2 different groups. He says there are 2 different groups of people, and these 2 different groups of people absolutely vary in their opinion when it comes to talk about the end of this universe. The first group of the people think that this world will be destroyed by fire, whereas the second group of the people of the second group do not agree with the people of the first group. People of the first group think that a time will come when the temperature of this earth will rise so high beyond the normal degree, beyond the tolerance of all the living creatures of this planet, that the high temperature will wipe out all the living organisms of this planet forever. This is the opinion of the people of the first group or the first category. Whereas the people of the second category absolutely disagree with the people of the first category. People of the second category or group, they say that no, fire will not destroy this world, but ice, sudden fall in the temperature of the world or the universe beyond the expectations of the human will cause the end of this world. See, here, if I have talked about fire and ice in their own literal meaning, till now I have talked about the fire and ice in their literal meaning. But one thing I would like to make it clear to all of you, my dear learners, that the poet has not made use of fire and ice in their literal sense. He has used fire and ice as symbol. Fire stands for, see, his aboriginal desire, strong passion, and ice stands for hatred, dislike, my dear learners. So he has made use of fire and ice in a symbolical sense. If he has made use of fire in a symbolical sense, some way down the line he wants to give a hint, or he wants to give a peep of that world that suffered a lot in the World War One. Why? Because this poem was written and came into print just a year after the World War One. You know that World War One began in 1914 and ended in 1919 around, and this poem was composed by this great poet in 1920. So somewhere down the line, or somewhere in the hind brain of the poet, this thing was in his own mind, that ravage, that destruction the World War One had caused, and that somehow had given a kind of a sense of understanding to this poet that maybe that war could lead to the other war, in that a kind of a mass destructing nuclear weapons could be used, or was going to be used, and to some extent Robert Lee Frost was very much right if he thought so. Why? Because you see, the World War II. In the World War II, what happened? 2 atom bombs, mass destructing bombs were dropped upon the two cities of Japan, one Nagasaki, the other Hiroshima, that claim the thousand and large number of the lives of the innocent people. Large number of the innocent people were killed. So somewhere down the line, or somewhere in the hind brain of this poet, this kind of a thing was. That's why here he is using fire particularly for speaking indirectly, or for talking indirectly, or giving a hint indirectly about the mass destructing nuclear weapons. So fire and ice, I told you that fire and ice to some extent is, or not great extent, fire and ice are in great extent used in a symbolical sense. So he says that there are people who are divided into 2 groups. People of the first group think that fire will destroy this universe or the world. Second group does not agree with the first one, and the people of the second group, they say that no, ice age will come back once again and will destroy this world. Now see the next line of the poem. He says, from what I have tasted here, experienced, understood, realized, of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So he says, so far as my knowledge is concerned, so far my understanding of this world and the people of this world is concerned. See, on the basis of my own understanding, I can say this, that those people who favor fire, particularly for the destruction of this world, are actually right. He says, I also find myself standing with those people belonging to the first group who think that fire will destroy this world. So he says, I also think the same, just as the people of the first group think. And he says, I say this on my own, on the basis of my own understanding and experience. But he says, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate. But he says that if, suppose, just take it for granted, just assume for a moment that this world had to destroy destroyed, had to be destroyed 2 times. He says definitely the second time this world was going to be destroyed by the excessive hatred and dislike that he has seen among the people and felt among the people. That's why the poet has used these words in just a symbolical sense, that he is unable to understand why do people have so much dislike for one another. See, if the First World War was imposed upon this world, definitely all because of the selfish motives of the handful number of the countries, and for that entire nation had to pay. So if the world war took place, or if any war takes place, it's all because of the greed, you see, strong passions, ambitions, selfishness of handful number of the people. An entire nation has to suffer. So that's why, see, he has made use of these 2 things. See, he has found the people absolutely indifferent. Unnecessarily they dislike the other people. So he says that if this world had to end 2 times, definitely second time, the excessive dislike that he has felt among people for one another, he says, will destroy this world. So excessive hatred and dislike of the people of this world, of the people of this world for one another will destroy this world second time, if it has to be destroyed for 2 times. He says, see further, but he says, to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. He said, but so far as the potential, the power, the velocity of the ice is concerned, it is not less in comparison with the fire. So if the fire is very destructive, so is the case with the ice. Ice is equally capable of destroying this world. So my dear learners, this was the explanation of this beautiful poem of Robert Lee Frost that speaks volumes about the strong negative just emotions or negative desires of the human being, which has caused all the sufferings and all the problems of the world at large. So I hope you may have understood this poem in a proper manner. I hope this explanation of mine will definitely help you understand this poem in a much better manner. That's it in this video, my dear learners.